What's up, everybody, man? Shit, I just got done smashing with a little bit of a backyard boogie. You know what I mean? Today was leg day. It's a day that you cannot miss, people. You cannot build a motherfucking house on a straw. I'll tell you that right now. But anyways, people, like I said, I'm gonna be introducing a little bit of my upbringing to you, to my audience. You know what I mean? That way you get to know me a little bit. You know what I mean? I got to be very careful on what I speak on. You know what I mean? Because I'm not gonna speak on anything that's gonna incriminate myself. Okay? But anyways, let me get back to this. What I just got done doing. You know what I mean? I got done getting paid, getting my money. It's something that I do every day. Monday through Saturday, I either hit the gym or do a little bit of backyard boogie. And every Sunday I go running. Put in 7 miles running. But yeah, people, there ain't nothing to it but to do it, man. If you're struggling on becoming that best version of yourself with your physical fitness, and you don't know where to start at, shoot me a DM, man, or leave me a comment here, and we could hook up. But I'll get you started. Like I said, you know, I'm not going to charge you or anything. I'll get you on that right path. You know, that way you could get you some results. And you know, once you get a little bit of taste of it, then results, man, it becomes addicting. You know what I mean? And once you're addicted to something, you know how the way we go, us people, us folks go. We get addicted to something, we go beast on it. So, but anyways, people, like I said, I'm gonna touch on a little bit of my upbringing and shit. I already told you guys about, you know, getting courted in and all that. Well, I'm gonna remind you guys, you know, I was brought up with a lot of the older homies, you know, so I was just a little dude running around with the OGs, you know what I mean? But yeah, they laced me up, you know. They taught me how to bob and weave and to, you know, avoid the potholes that they were falling in and shit, you know. But eventually, these older cats, you know what I mean, they were caught up in the drug game, you know what I mean. They you know, started, you know, doing their thing, you know what I mean, as every neighborhood has them, you know. Start off with, you know, smoking weed, drinking beer, and then it just progresses and just gets worse and worse. But in our eyes, we don't look at it as getting worse. We just look at it as being a better time. But yeah, so like, you know, my brother, big age difference, you know what I mean? My homeboys, the ones that I grew up with right there off of Rush Street and shit, they were all older than me, man. So they end up, you know, going to camp, juvenile hall, YA and shit like that, and I was left behind, you know what I mean, a little youngster and shit, still trying to do my thing, and not really fitting in anymore because, you know, the kids around me, they didn't look like me, you know what I mean? I'm real young, you know what I mean, dressed up in fucking khakis, Pendletons, fucking hairnet, you know. I thought, you know, I was the one, you know what I mean, but I just didn't fit in, man, you know what I mean? So I felt like out of place, and I was like, there was that void, you know what I mean? Because my older homeboys were gone, and I was just used to that area right there. If you're familiar with that area where I grew up at, Whittier Narrows Park, you know, that's it's South Almani. But, you know, you got to keep in mind, I was still pretty young. I wasn't really able to run the streets like I wanted to. But I did here and there, you know what I mean? But anyways, I'm bring this fast forward a little bit, you know what I mean? You know, so eventually, you know, I started, you know, moving around, you know what I mean? Because we lost our home and, you know, we became homeless and shit. So we were bouncing all over Monte. That's where I started, you know, running into new homies from the hood, you know what I mean? Learning different ways, you know. The homies that are running into now, you know, were more or less like my age, and they weren't about to teach me right from wrong, you know what I mean? So we rode, you know what I mean? We were doing our motherfucking thing. So well, actually, I can't even say that because they probably weren't laced up by older homies like the way I was, you know. So eventually I started gravitating towards their stilo, you know what I mean? They're like, fuck it, mi vida loca mexica warrior just said, fuck it, you know what I mean? Let's all out. Everything we do is the right move, you know. There ain't nothing that we could do is wrong. You know what I mean? We thought we were right about everything. You know what I mean? But that's because we were youngsters just running amok. But anyways, that's where I got caught up, man. I started fucking around with dope, indulging in dope, and started doing everything else that comes along with that. And like I said, I can't get into too much detail about it. For those of you that know, you know. And I'm not going to incriminate myself. And like I said, when I was on Lucky Sun Tzu's podcast, you know what I mean? Some things are best off not even spoken on, you know what I mean? Some unsolved mysteries are best to be unsolved mysteries. So like with that being said, people, you know what I mean? Here is another glimpse of my growing up, you know what I mean? So I'm bringing you to where I started fucking indulging and doing a little extra and started, experimenting with drugs, man. And with them drugs, came with a lot of other consequences. I didn't see it at the beginning because, at the beginning I was able to hustle and be productive. You know what I mean? It wasn't really a vice back then. Eventually it became a vice because it started fucking just taking away from me progressing in life. And, eventually, as time went by, it led up to where I ended up, getting caught up with that armed robbery and motherfucking homies that I thought were solid. Well, say an individual homie I thought was solid, motherfucker was singing like a bird, man. And the ones that I always second question, they were solid as fuck. But it's part of life of growing up in the hood, and every neighborhood has them. So. Well, anyways, people. So there's another short glimpse of my lifestyle coming in and showing you guys how I'm going to eventually take you to where I'm at today in my fitness journey, and I'm becoming that best version of myself, man. I'm fucking, like I said, and I'm not tooting my own horn or anything like that, man, but I'm 53. I'm ripped. I'm fit. I walk around with a six-pack. And no, I do not mean a fucking six-pack of pisto. Because I tell you one thing, when I was drinking back in the day, six-pack wouldn't be shit, man. Come on now, people. Let's keep this shit real here. But anyways, people, with that being said, man, get up and get yours. Remember, share this video, like and subscribe, and put your all bell notifications on all notifications for me. You know what I mean? Let's get this channel going. And like I said in the past, if you have a topic you want to touch on, and if I could do it, we'll touch on it, man. Like I said, I grew up in the trenches, baby. We could talk about things, as long as it's within safe standings to put out there on this social media, because social media can be very dangerous, people. You got to be careful and always mind your P's and Q's. Now, with that being said, get up and get yours. Let's do this shit.